Imagine a world where NASA, the pioneer of space exploration, is no longer leading the race to the stars. Instead, a single company led by one man has left NASA and all its competitors in the dust. That's right, SpaceX, under the leadership of Elon Musk, is dominating the rocket flight market like no one thought possible. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about space. The ripple effects of this dominance could send the stock prices of Musk's other companies skyrocketing. Stick around because what you're about to discover will change how you see the future of space travel and your investment portfolio. SpaceX wasn't always the powerhouse it is today. In fact, when Elon Musk first launched the company in 2002, many in the aerospace industry saw it as little more than a dreamer's fantasy. Between 2006 and 2008, SpaceX faced 3 consecutive failures with its Falcon 1 rocket. Each failure was a devastating blow, pushing the company to the brink of bankruptcy. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. Musk's relentless drive and vision didn't let him give up. By 2010, SpaceX introduced the Falcon 9, a larger, more powerful rocket, and the game changed. The introduction of reusable rocket stages, the first of their kind, allowed SpaceX to undercut its competitors on cost, delivering payloads to space at a fraction of the price. SpaceX went from an underdog in the aerospace industry to the undeniable leader in the rocket flight market. It was this leap from near obscurity to market dominance that set the stage for everything that followed. And here's the best part. It wasn't just NASA contracts that kept SpaceX afloat. Musk had his eyes on a much bigger prize, Mars. While other companies were focused on competing for government contracts, SpaceX was developing technologies that would one day take humanity to another planet. Now, that kind of ambition, it doesn't just attract attention, it attracts investors, talent, and a loyal customer base, an early sign of what was to come for all of Musk's ventures. NASA, the very agency that led humanity to the moon, now finds itself relying on a private company. SpaceX's partnership wasn't always in the cards. In fact, after the retirement of the Space Shuttle in 2011, NASA found itself with a glaring problem: no way to send its astronauts to space from U.S. soil. For nearly a decade, NASA had to pay Russia millions of dollars per seat to get astronauts to the International Space Station. Enter SpaceX in 2020 and made history by launching NASA astronauts from U.S. soil for the first time since the shuttle era on a SpaceX rocket. This wasn't just a one-off deal either. NASA now depends on SpaceX for nearly 2/3 of its launches, including high-profile missions to the International Space Station and beyond. And here's where things get even more interesting. SpaceX offers these services at a fraction of the cost that NASA could achieve on its own or through its traditional contractors. This shift in power, where a private company handles the bulk of NASA's space missions, highlights how far SpaceX has come. NASA, once the unrivaled leader in space exploration, now leans heavily on Elon Musk's vision and technology. And it's not just about sending astronauts into orbit. SpaceX is now eyeing deep space missions, designing lunar landers, and testing massive rockets that will one day head to Mars. With NASA depending so much on SpaceX, the question becomes who's really leading the future of space exploration? Elon Musk with SpaceX isn't just competing with NASA anymore, he's outpacing them, both in cost efficiency and in vision. SpaceX's game-changing innovation wasn't just in launching rockets, it was in bringing them back. Before SpaceX, the idea of reusing rockets was almost unheard of. Traditional rockets were built to be used once, making space travel extremely expensive with costs in the hundreds of millions of dollars per launch. But Elon Musk had a different vision. In 2015, SpaceX made history again by successfully landing the first stage of its Falcon 9 rocket back on Earth after a mission. This breakthrough wasn't just a technological feat. It slashed the cost of space travel by a staggering amount. Rockets could now be refurbished and launched again, drastically reducing the price per flight. And while competitors like Boeing and Lockheed Martin were still using single-use rockets, SpaceX was offering its services at a fraction of the cost. Sometimes as low as $62 million per launch, a price point that its competitors simply couldn't match. But it wasn't just about cost savings. Reusable rockets allowed SpaceX to launch more frequently, perfecting their technology with every launch. The success of this innovation meant SpaceX was now capable of handling more missions, including launching satellites, delivering cargo to the International Space Station, and even launching scientific missions for NASA. The speed and scale at which SpaceX was innovating became a major disruption in the space industry. While other companies were slow to adapt, SpaceX's reusable rocket technology put it in a league of its own, making it the go-to choice for space launches globally. But here's the kicker. The same innovative spirit driving SpaceX is fueling Musk's other companies. Tesla, Neuralink, and The Boring Company are all leveraging bold ideas and rapid iteration, just like SpaceX. And as SpaceX continues to dominate the rocket market, It's only a matter of time before Musk's innovation streak spreads even further, driving massive gains for all of his ventures. While SpaceX's Falcon 9 and reusable rockets revolutionized space travel, Elon Musk isn't stopping there. His next bold step, Starship, a massive, fully reusable spacecraft designed to take humanity not just into orbit, but to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Starship is not just another rocket. It's the vehicle Musk envisions will one day make humanity a multiplanetary species. Standing at a staggering 120 meters tall, Starship is unlike anything that's been built before. It's designed to carry large payloads, whether it's satellites, lunar landers, or entire colonies, at a fraction of the cost of traditional rockets. Musk's goal is clear: to send humans to Mars within the next decade, and Starship is the key to making that happen. Here's the kicker. Starship isn't just about going to Mars. It's also set to disrupt existing space markets here on Earth. With its massive capacity, Starship could replace NASA's Space Launch System SLS, which is still years behind schedule and costs nearly $900 million per launch, compared to Musk's projection of just $10 million per Starship flight. That's a price so low it could put NASA's own moon missions on the back burner. And it doesn't stop there. The sheer size of Starship means it could also launch huge scientific missions, placing massive telescopes into orbit that dwarf today's space observatories. This capacity could change the game for space science, unlocking new possibilities for planetary exploration and deep space research. But what does all this mean for Musk's other ventures? The audacity of SpaceX's Starship program reflects the same mindset driving Tesla's electric vehicle revolution and Neuralink's quest to connect brains with technology. Every step closer to Mars enhances Musk's reputation as a visionary, fueling investor confidence across all of his companies. As Starship gets closer to its first operational flight, the question isn't just how SpaceX will reshape space travel, it's how this next giant leap could send the stock prices of Musk's other companies into the stratosphere. While SpaceX's Falcon 9 and reusable rockets revolutionized space travel, Elon Musk isn't stopping there. His next bold step, Starship, a massive, fully reusable spacecraft designed to take humanity not just into orbit, but to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Starship is not just another rocket. It's the vehicle Musk envisions will one day make humanity a multiplanetary species. Standing at a staggering 120 meters tall, Starship is unlike anything that's been built before. It's designed to carry large payloads, whether it's satellites, lunar landers, or entire colonies, at a fraction of the cost of traditional rockets. Musk's goal is clear: to send humans to Mars within the next decade, and Starship is the key to making that happen. Here's the kicker. Starship isn't just about going to Mars. It's also set to disrupt existing space markets here on Earth. With its massive capacity, Starship could replace NASA's Space Launch System SLS, which is still years behind schedule and cost. Elon Musk's ability to deliver results with SpaceX has ignited a surge in investor sentiment that goes far beyond just space exploration. In fact, Wall Street is starting to view every one of Musk's ventures through the lens of his SpaceX achievements, creating a powerful boost for the stock prices of Tesla, Neuralink, and even the Boring Company. But why is this happening, and what could it mean for the future? It all starts with confidence. When SpaceX became the first private company to send astronauts into orbit and dock with the International Space Station, it shattered expectations not just for what's possible in space, but for what Musk himself is capable of. Investors see this and think, if he can disrupt space travel, what's stopping him from revolutionizing the automotive industry or making brain-computer interfaces a reality or transforming transportation with tunnels? Musk's success in one field is driving optimism across the board. Then there's the ripple effect of technological advancements. SpaceX's reusable rocket technology and relentless focus on reducing costs have revolutionized the space industry, but the broader market impact is significant too. Investors know that Musk's approach, rapid innovation, cost efficiency, and scalability, applies to his other companies. This fuels market speculation that Tesla will continue to dominate the electric vehicle market, that Neuralink could one day lead in neurotechnology, and that the Boring Company's infrastructure projects could transform urban transport. And as investor confidence grows, so does the value of Musk's publicly traded companies. Tesla's stock, for instance, has seen tremendous growth, driven by the belief that Musk's vision for the future will be realized across multiple industries. In fact, some investors are starting to view Musk's portfolio as a collection of moonshot opportunities, high-risk, high-reward bets that, if successful, could bring unprecedented returns. The excitement around SpaceX is causing a snowball effect. Every successful rocket launch, every groundbreaking announcement from Musk sends waves through the market, lifting the stock prices of his other companies. This investor sentiment isn't just about space, it's about Musk's proven track record of making the impossible possible. But here's a real question. With SpaceX's dominance fueling this level of market optimism, just how high could the stock prices of Musk's companies climb, and more importantly, could the SpaceX effect be the catalyst that pushes these companies to unprecedented heights? So, after everything we've explored, the big question remains, can anyone, including NASA, really compete with Elon Musk and SpaceX? The short answer, not in the foreseeable future. SpaceX's rapid pace of innovation combined with its massive cost advantages and ambitious vision for the future has put it miles ahead of not only traditional aerospace competitors but also government agencies like NASA. SpaceX's reusable rockets have redefined the economics of space travel. NASA's Space Launch System, SLS, once seen as the future of human space exploration, now looks outdated and overpriced compared to Musk's sleek, cost-effective Starship. While NASA has political support and decades of experience, it's hampered by bureaucracy and budget constraints. Meanwhile, Musk answers to no one but his own vision, allowing him to push the boundaries in ways that government agencies simply can't. And here's where the ripple effect comes in. SpaceX's dominance isn't just reshaping the space industry, it's supercharging investor sentiment across all of Musk's companies. Tesla is already benefiting from the belief that Musk's innovation and leadership will lead to continued market domination. Neuralink and the Boring Company are next in line, as they too ride the wave of Musk's growing reputation as a disruptor of entire industries. For investors, SpaceX's success could be the catalyst that pushes the stock prices of all Musk's companies to new heights. As SpaceX achieves milestone after milestone, it's clear that the market sees Musk's ventures not as isolated projects, but as a collection of revolutionary ideas connected by a single visionary leader. The confidence in SpaceX's ability to continue dominating the rocket flight market is spilling over into confidence in Tesla, Neuralink, and the Boring Company, boosting their potential for exponential growth. The bottom line, as long as Musk continues to deliver with SpaceX, the sky's the limit for his other companies. With SpaceX outpacing NASA and no competitor in sight, the knock-on effect could be monumental. SpaceX's dominance is the spark that could ignite the next major surge in the stock prices of Musk's entire portfolio. And the best part, we're just getting started.